Sometimes you hear a lot said about the term tolerance. I want to read some quotes out of a book that was titled Forces at Work. It was written by William E. Jones, who for a number of years was a professor at Oklahoma Christian University. He quotes some individuals in the preface of his book. James M. Wall, editor of the Christian Century, made this statement in an article. As a culture, we are right to insist on openness, but that insistence has become an end in itself. Unless we have principles on which to base our tolerance, we are left with a mushy openness, empty to the core. Interesting statement, and I think totally accurate. Another quotation from a sociologist named Robert N. Bellah. There is a fear in our loose-bounded culture that strong belief in anything, particularly in the area of right and wrong, means one wishes to coerce others into sharing one's view. It's incorrect. His conclusion is that that fear is baseless. Persuasion is not the same as coercion. You wouldn't know that from the way people talk about, if you don't accept my view, you're being intolerant. No, I'm just questioning the legitimacy, I guess, of your analysis. Interesting statements. Forces at Work. Sounds like it was written yesterday. This book was published in 1991. That's a few years back. The problem hasn't changed. It's actually accelerated. So is it tolerance or ignorance that's involved in a lot of things that are determined today? History repeats itself. We previously talked about the wealth of knowledge and experience that you find within the walls of assisted living facilities around the country. People that were inventors, engineers, architects, professors, artists, musicians. A wealth of information that is bottled up and almost forgotten. But it doesn't mean that every generation with that kind of expertise is always following exactly the right path. You know, sometimes you hear a phrase, here's a person that is wise beyond their years, and it's a statement that acknowledges wisdom should be found in someone with a lot of life's experiences. That's not always the case. There are times when it was not the case in Judea, in Jerusalem. In fact, I want to read something to you out of the book of Isaiah, chapter 3. Beginning in verse 1, Behold, the Lord God of hosts is taking away from Jerusalem and Judah support and supply, all support of bread, all supply of water. The mighty man and the soldier, the judge and the prophet, the diviner and the elder, the captain of 50, the man of rank, the counselor, the skillful magician, the expert in charms, I will make boys their princes. Infants shall rule over them. All the people will oppress one another. Everyone is fellow, everyone is neighbor. The youth will be insolent to the elder. The despised in culture, insolent to the honorable. Centuries ago, millennia ago, this kind of statement about a culture where those who should have been wise actually were not. And that doesn't mean that there were not a lot of wise individuals in this generation in Jerusalem and Judea. There were. There was those that were the ignorant, actually, those that were enshrouded in arrogant ignorance. They were calling the shots of the day, as it were, making the decisions. Those are the ones that created the problems that are enumerated here in Isaiah chapter 3. Does it sound familiar? Openness is one thing, but blind acceptance makes no sense whatsoever. If there is not an analysis, if there is not a desire to sit down and look at all of the details, find out what's the last word on this subject. If you analyze this to its infinite possibilities, where does it lead? Is it something that's detrimental or something that builds up the individual or the family or the culture or the country or the world. If it does not, tolerance is something that's become despicably ignorant because it is not viewed knowledge as anything beyond one's whim of the moment or the hour. Problem in Judea and Jerusalem? God said, I'm going to take away your food. You're going to have to hunt for water. And all those people that were in power, they're going to be ruled by intellectual toddlers, infants, mere children, adolescents. Look at where we are. Please stay safe. We'll talk again soon.